Welcome to my latest podcast. My name is Dr. Mike Brass, and I will once again be your host on our journey embedded in information security throughout business. I'll be looking at business security communication in this episode. I'll start with a deceptively obvious statement. Data is the lifeblood of many organizations. It also carries risks of destruction, degradation, denial, and devaluation. There are regulations in many countries across the globe spanning data privacy, digital identity, provenance, third parties, supply chains, ethics, export restrictions, and trade controls. Executing quickly on security risk, or rather consequence management of the data, builds trust in the security function and yields returns in the long run. A culture of security needs to be built throughout the organization, and this isn't led by a controls first or compliance mindset. You have to work board down and bottom up and get a unified approach agreed upon. I've spoken about this in a previous video on building an information security management system. CISOs play an advisory role to the business on security risk management and security governance, providing important risk operational insights. This is due to the role of the CISO being concerned with the operational resilience of their companies. Information security, after all, is, to slightly change Dr. Monsieur Habsib's wording, the mission-focused and risk-optimized governance of information aligned to business objectives using people, processes, and technology. Business leaders do not often have a technological background, but they do understand business risks and finance. Building trust is essential not just between the CISO and board and execo and the exco, but also between the CISO and all levels of the organization. Creating a common language helps. A CISO must always frame risk in a business context and not focus on technical risks for two reasons. There is shared responsibility for security in organizations, and colleagues on the business side are much more likely to pay attention, leading to symbiotic, empathetic relationship based on mutual trust and respect. This type of relationship dealing with people with commitment, values, and conviction requires persuasion and coalitions, not given orders. Let's take a hypothetical example of putting these concepts and principles into action when faced with a possibly difficult business unit leader. Let's say you have a sales team whose success is measured solely against how much revenue and potential new leads they generate. You can attempt to incorporate awareness metrics like fake phishing campaign responses into their metrics, but above all, you need to demonstrate you put everything on the table and speak honestly. You would be an advisor for their business processes, business systems, and their training to see where everything can be rationalized and improved. For all of this increases security and productivity while generating goodwill at the same time. Salespeople need effective, efficient processes to undertake brand management and selling value to meet business targets within an increasingly regulatory landscape, and these are part and parcel of security. This value can and does include establishing service-level contractual agreements with customers, which would contain objective metrics, and some of these metrics are heavily interrelated with security. It would not look good for either the salesperson or the company for a deal to be made and problems later arise either in the product or package or with data leakage. However, say the head of the business unit wants to undertake a digital transformation project. They want to implement a system hosted with a new SaaS provider. The system would host confidential and valuable information. You initiate a risk assessment of the provider according to policy and procedure. The unsatisfactory response to, say, data encryption is returned as Azure or Google Cloud or AWS handles it. The unit leader states that they will proceed regardless. It is important to recognize that you must not be the department of no. The business drivers do exist. How to meet the desired outcome or outcomes is the question. While you are responsible for identifying information security risks for the company, you are a business advisor thinking about both risk and the capabilities needed to securely succeed. In a case like this, objectively outline the likelihood for any disruption to achieving the business objectives, likelihood for lost revenue, and market share through the devaluation of brand, as well as if there are other risks which could lead to destruction, degradation, or denial of information. It will be up to the InfoSec or risk committee to make the business decision, and for this to be appropriately recorded. For example, the business could accept the risk, could query if certain mitigation steps could be undertaken, or could ask the unit leader if they could not find a workaround with similar benefits if the desired features were truly transformative. If the unit leader pushes back, the board or exco could ask the question if he would bet his house or another substantive item on it. This leverages peer pressure, design rewards, and demands accountability. The end result is that the senior leadership views their CISO as both a business partner and an expert, while the CISO responds in kind by influencing how their company views business risks in the context of data security and data risk management. And on that note, please feel free to continue this conversation in either the comments section below or catch me on LinkedIn. Until next time, take it easy and stay safe.